of you. I welcome you all to this episode of question answer session, which I have been executing in order to build my awareness and the awareness of everyone around me. So thanks a lot to all of you for supporting this and making this project go on successfully. So in recent times, in the past 4 or 5 years, when I've been watching people, I found the ability to question is getting lost in them. As they are not able to question, they are not able to analyze the subject. When people cannot analyze the subject, they never gain clarity on anything. See, when we start questioning certain things to people, then they'll start realizing everything. Today morning I had a small discussion with my son. I was just somehow talking all the incidents that has happened. It was like a realization for him. I just gave him an opportunity wherein I was asking different kinds of questions to him and started seeking answers. Somehow, I just made him realize only by asking questions that everything that is happening in life is just happening because of the mind and its thinking. The way the mind is thinking. And exactly, he started coming up with an answer which was totally only one thing. For everything I asked, okay, the answer was, it's because of mind. I started asking, okay, why did you become angry in that particular situation? Because mind started thinking like that. Why did you become happy in this situation? I just gave them different tasks and start executing the same thing. So in the process, he started coming up with a conclusion saying that, okay, everything was an outcome of mind. So through questioning, I could really make a lot of people understand different things in life. Other than questioning, I don't know if there is any way where we can really make a person understand what exactly we are going to execute it, what exactly we are going to make the people understand. See, a lot of people say that, okay, I get angry because the other person did not listen to what I said. Okay, but other person did not listen to what you said, made you angry. But I ask people, do you listen to everything what others say? Do you do everything what other people want you to do? When you don't do everything what other people want to do, then how do you expect everyone to do what you want them to do? Do you behave exactly the way the other people are expecting? When it is not possible for you to behave in a manner what the other people are expecting, why do you think of everyone behaving in a manner that you want? So these questions really made them realize or think and understand, okay, the reality of most of the concepts. So if questioning is not there, I don't even think that, okay, a person can really drive some clarity into anything. So clarity driving is totally a concept of questioning, that's all. If you're not able to question students, if you're not able to think or gain clarity about a lot of things, then just analyze once, okay, what is that we are going to drive out of it? See, most of the people, they are not able to conquer most of the negatives that they have within them. They are not able to conquer the negatives that they have within them for one simple reason. That is, they are not able to think and realize the statistics. And why they are not able to think? So suppose you are getting a kind of worry. So if you don't have a question, why I'm getting a kind of worry, then see, When we have a bad dream at night, we wake up from that dream. Oh, then get relieved, thinking that I just had a bad dream. But when something goes negative in a daytime, our mind starts thinking in a similar manner. Of course, we will not have a visual image of that as we did not close our eyes. But the mind starts thinking and executing the same thing with same kind of emotions. In that state, we have to realize one simple thing, that it is our mind that is thinking about all this, but in reality, there is nothing like that. If this much is understood by us, if this much is gained clarity over it, so thinking that it is the mind that is thinking and there is nothing in reality. See, whatever the emotion we are executing, whatever the challenges we are facing, we are just facing and we are emoting in that particular manner because our mind is thinking in that particular manner. If the mind is not thinking about anything, okay, then there is no emotion. When there is no emotion, you are in balance. So, in all my maturity that I've gained in this 15, 20 years of work, what I've done in the process of updating or how the mind thinks and what kind of execution it executes, okay, I understood only one thing, that the one major challenge what everyone has on this earth is just observing how our mind thinks. That's all. If we can focus on that one particular concept and keep observing how our mind is thinking, I think that is the best job what a man can do on this earth. Because when you can handle your mind, when you can make it think in a manner that you want, okay, then you've got your deal done. The biggest challenge for all of us is only one thing. We are not able to observe how our mind is thinking, and 99% of the people don't know the reality that it is because of the thinking of the mind that we are getting the experience of life. So we can shift that thinking. There is a possibility. By shifting our thinking, we can shift the experience of life. The only challenge is we are not shifting our thinking, so we are not changing the experience of life. When we are not changing the experience of life, then automatically what happens? We will be in the state of suffering. So someone has to come and hint us that, okay, you just change your thinking pattern, then everything is going to be great. But then that one particular challenge is existing within us just because we are not able to understand this fundamental thing. Even I did not understand this particular thing, okay, when I started my journey. In the days of my, what I can say, in my earlier days, I did not understand all this. I never realized that my mind is thinking about something, because of that I'm experiencing it in the form of an emotion. I used to think that that is all real, it's all happening, and that is the reason why I'm experiencing. Nothing is happening. Whatever that you're experiencing or emoting in life, it is just the outcome of the thinking of the mind, that's it. And if this one particular point is understood to people, I think they handle everything wonderful. But the biggest challenge is people are not able to understand this simple concept because they are not enhancing their questioning ability. Probably the biggest thing what I've done in my life is empowering my questioning ability. So once I empowered my questioning ability, then everything started falling in place. And my sincere request for everyone is empower your questioning ability. Then you start understanding, then you start realizing a lot about a lot of things on this earth. And once you start realizing about everything, okay, everything is going to be fantastic. Okay, so thank you so much. So let's jump into questions and take things forward. As usual, let me take a question from Pyari. Good evening, Pyari. Thanks a lot for taking this question answer session forward. So I never got a thought process that the question answer session will go on, or will the question answer session go on or not today. Because in every session, I have one confidence that even if no one asks me a question, okay, there will be one girl who will ask me a question, and that is Pyari, and I can answer that question and lead this session. So you've given me that confidence, okay, in order to handle it. I'm just kidding, okay. That's great. Anyway, thank you. What is work? Why should we work hard? Okay. Try to understand this. In reality, everything that is being done in our life is just the realization of ourselves. So probably you take any arena, it's only the realization of the self. Let us take the work of a doctor. What is the work of a doctor? Realizing what exactly is there within this body and what is the function of it, how it works, what can damage it, how can it be repaired, and how can we extend the lifespan of that particular organ. See, if you take a cardiologist, he deals with the heart, how it works, what are the internal things, how it gets damaged, what makes it better, all these things. He's exploring, okay? He's trying to know everything about how the heart is functioning, okay? How the heart is working. A neurologist, or a nephrologist, and gastroenterologist, different kinds of doctors work on different particular things. Probably if you go for an ophthalmologist, 2 eyes, okay? So probably if you go for a dentist, okay, they work on the teeth, how it functions, okay, how it can be treated, what can be replaced, what are the different challenges what you encounter with it. So the entire doctor community is trying to explore the internal content. So the work of a doctor is knowing about what it is, what kind of problems it can encounter, and what are the remedies or what are the solutions regarding that. So every work is somehow like that. If you can relate it, probably a teacher, okay, he has to work on what exactly is the problem of a student. So what's making him a duller or what's making him an intelligent student? What if I change in my perspective, okay, I can change a normal student to a wonderful student. He has to keep on studying the moods, what I can say, the way the kid is thinking and what kind of influence, okay, he will have when the student is thinking in a positive manner, what kind of influence he has. If the kid is thinking in a negative manner, what kind of influence he has. So this, he has to do a kind of research. How if at all, if he is representing his information, it's going to be a fantastic thing. So what else or what should he do in order to execute the things and all? So I hope you're understanding this particular thing. Okay. So work is nothing but a realization of certain objective. Okay. So the more you realize, the better you solve problems. So it's an experimentation, or I can say it's a kind of research about it, exploring about it. So every work is like that. See, probably if you go a long back, okay, people, if they wanted to clean dishes, I remember they used to clean dishes with the powder of coal or the ash that was brought out of burning wood and all. They used to use it. It was rough. It used to damage their hands. It was difficult. It was not really easy to do it and all. It was tough to take off the oil stains in that and all. So there was a team of people who started working on it. They did a research, explored all the minute details of that, and started creating solutions for everything. So probably if you're a cricketer, you understand cricket better and better. The more you work on understanding cricket better and better, you're a better player. So if you're what I can say, restaurant owner, okay, or if you're a chef, a beautiful chef, So you're trying to understand the recipes to the best extent. You're exploring the recipe. What kind of food, if at all, what kind of ingredients, if I use, okay, that is going to give a flavor of taste to the tongue. So the entire job of a chef is only one thing, okay? He has to work on exploring how the tongue experiences, okay, different kinds of food items. What food item in what quantity is given to the tongue, it gives a fantastic experience. It's an exploration, it's a research. So probably when you eat certain things like let's say you bought a packet of chips and you started sipping the first chip. So that chip contains chili powder or salt to certain extent, to an extent where once you put that on your tongue, okay, you will have a different feel and experience, and automatically the desire to take one more should drive in you. When thing is good only, you go for it. See, for example, you tasted a cake and that was wonderful. So you want to have another sip of that cake. But take it on the other side, you took a cake. It was not really tasty. So you will say, you eat it, I don't want it. Because that's not really sound. See, you went to a place and started eating a dosa and it had a flavor which really made you enjoy the taste of it. So automatically what happens? You go and taste it again and again, again and again. What made people to drive towards kurkure? All this thing is this. So every work is an exploration. It's a research on that particular content. See, I started training English to students. I started exploring the subject to an extent wherein I came to a stage wherein I can make anyone understand whatever I am delivering to them. So it's a research. So probably if it is about mind, okay, it's a research. Thoughts. If you're a psychiatrist, okay, how your mind thinks. So when your mind thinks in that manner, okay, what kind of solutions you can give in order to change that, okay. Everything is an outcome of thinking in that particular sense. So work is nothing but an exploration in an area that we become. And why we should work hard is all about one thing, okay. If we work hard, working hard is nothing but doing the same thing again and again and coming up with simpler solutions. Complex thing must be driven into simpler things, that's all. When complex things are made simpler and simpler and simpler, so that people can take the joy of it very easily. See, before, in order to deliver English, people used to take 4 years. There was a sir by name Sitaramaya who used to teach English grammar. Every day, people used to go there at 5 o'clock in the morning, and the class used to run for 2 hours. 5 to 7, sir used to take the class. So people used to go to the institute for almost 4 years, okay, in order to learn English grammar. So that we have simplified to an extent wherein we are able to deliver to the students in just a week. So 5-6 days time is enough for us to make a student understand everything in English in such a manner that he will not even get a doubt in future. We are going to give such a clarity to him. And the biggest asset what we can do is, in just a week, we are able to make the student create right sentences. Agreement of the verb becomes perfect with him. He'll never make a mistake in that. Only thing is he has to enhance his contact with the language. He has to live with English, okay, in order to make that English live within him. So there is nothing else than that. So how could we simplify this content to such an extent? So it's exploration, right? It's doing a kind of research. So every work we pick up, okay, it's about research, that's all. Exploring what it is, okay, to its depth, so that we can find the solutions in that particular arena to the best extent. So educational sector, we go for food industry. See, I think, okay, a pretty long time back, there was C. Subramaniam, I think, okay, he was the minister, food minister or something like that, okay. He went to Canada, so begging for food because India was running in famine and they had a shortage of food, and they had food which could be enough for only 2-3 weeks for the entire population of this country. If that food is lost, okay, the country had to starve and most of the people would die very soon. So in that case, Canada was ready to send 2 shiploads of food, okay, which would be enough for a huge population of this country for just a week. That's not going to be a good solution. At that time, he went to Swaminathan, a research scientist, and said, okay, um, isn't there any other solution other than begging people, okay, for this food? So that question sparkled the genius in Swaminathan, and Swaminathan started exploring, doing a research on different kind of food crops, and he started empowering more production in everything. Probably today, the produce what we are getting is many times more than what we were getting in the earlier days. So today we are able to bring up bigger size fruits, and we are able to increase the cultivation. We are able to increase the produce to a very great extent. So India was not even on the top list, okay, before, but we rank #1 in the world, okay, in rice production. It's not that, okay, the number of farmers has increased and the number of agricultural land has increased, or the area of land has been increased, okay, in cultivation. No, it's not like that. See, the only thing is we started increasing the productivity of, okay, or the produce of our work. And how did this happen? This all happened with one perspective. Okay, there is a research done by Swaminathan. See, probably I'm not getting his name. Okay, was brought some revolution in milk. Okay, he started understanding exactly how milk industry can become a wonderful thing. So he was into some uh, research space. He did some PG or something in space, but he was given a job into dairy sector, and he started working on it. He created a lot of solutions. So in order to create solutions in the arena what we are doing, we have to work to in depth of it. We have to explore the content to the greatest extent. We have to understand everything psychologically. So when we get that understanding, when we get that clarity on that thing, okay, we will be ready to solve problems in that particular thing. See, the same English what I'm teaching right now. So wherein I'm able to solve the problem of English to any extent. The same thing did not happen for me when I was delivering it almost 18, 20 years back. It's just because of one particular thing that I was not having clarity on that. So we need to work in order to know more. We need to work in order to do a kind of research on that particular arena where we are working. So when we have a complete analysis of the work what we are doing, then automatically we create solutions. And that solution must be simpler and simpler and simpler. Today, I think we know we have taken technology to such an extent that, okay, we've made everything simpler. See, even in programming, I still remember when the initial programming languages were there, like COBOL, Fortran, okay, Pascal, something like that. So a small program also needed 300 to 400 lines of code, okay, to be written. But today, even the biggest activities are being dropped into what I can say, just like simple outcomes. We are able to execute it in such a manner that we are able to drive the outcome in a very short time. So just in 1 or 2 lines. So reducing 300 lines of code into one particular thing. So imagine how beautiful it is. Recently, I visited Ramoji Film City, and there I can just illustrate small thing. Okay, what you can execute it. Okay, um, the art of filmmaking. That's what they wanted to do. Okay. In the process, what they did is there were a team of. It's a show, okay, which goes on for every half an hour, or continuously it goes on from morning to evening. I think. Okay. So there were a team of 150 or 200 people. We all sat in a theater like structure. So it was closed, and a person came who is called as director. So he spontaneously invited three girls and he told them a scene. The scene was something like that. There were three bikes fixed on it. All they have to do is sit on that bikes. He narrated a scene like this, okay? They have just gone for a bank robbery. They have stolen a lot of amount, and that is there in their bags. So they have their bags on their shoulders. So they are on the bike. So the only thing is the police is chasing them. As the police is chasing them, okay, they have to ride it fast, okay, they're moving the bike, and they have to keep watching, okay, whether the police are coming near. That's it. So this was the scene what he narrated to them. And what we imagine in order to take that scene, okay, we will think that it will take a lot of time, okay. But all it was done in a very short time. I'll tell you how it was executed. So they sat on the bikes, okay, wearing a helmet and different suit, okay. They started moving the bike that was made available for them to move it like this. And everything was, they just have to look back and see, okay, if someone is coming, that's all. So they did it for almost 2 to 3 minutes. That was recorded. Once it was done, okay, so we moved into the other block where the sounds were mixed for it. And they had a simple equipment like switching on a mixing. The other one is a blower like a drum, okay, which produces sound of the bike moving and bullet shooting and all. There were, and simple instruments were used in order to create the sound, and sound was added for it, and the film was made. And the film was something like these people robbed from a bank, okay, that was there. They sat on bikes and they were moving, and that was done in California or some other country where this was taken and kept there, okay. They did not go to California, but the technology has developed to such an extent wherein, okay, by just sitting in a bike and giving an emotion or a movement, an expression as if someone is chasing, okay, that can be made into a film wherein they robbed in some bank and they were going on a road of California, and that was shot particularly there. So technology has gone to such an extent wherein 2 minutes of acting that they have done can be blended into anything and that can be brought in. Even we have seen another kind of activities wherein a man fixed with a lot of cameras, okay, how Avatar movie was made and all. We could see all this, okay. So when we watch all this, we understand that, okay, we think that everything is being set and designed, and there we are going to do it, okay. Even I had an experience wherein I said, we have seen Pushpa movie, right? So when we see that movie, we feel that, okay, the entire movie is being shot in a forest, but absolutely not. It's just done in a closed building where everything is set, everything is created as a setting, and they never go outdoor, okay, in order to shoot anything. Only thing is they have a video of all that, they blend everything and start executing it. Probably in just 5 minutes, he created a video or a movie which was executed fantastically. Technology has gone to that extent. So initially when the movie was made, okay, it was not so easy. So they had a lot of complications. But now we are able to simplify it because there is one mind which is working hard in order to explore and analyze. Yesterday I had a long meeting with a person by name Madan Reddy, okay. I was discussing with him. So all our discussion was only one thing. There are people who just do the work what they have, but they never explore, they never do a research on that. When they explore and do a research, okay, then they can create solutions for any problem what they have. See, the greatest thing what I appreciate in that person, okay, Manan Reddy, is this. He deals with CEO or CMA. Generally, anyone who has completed CA or CMA will just teach one subject. He'll get expertise in that subject and he'll deliver that subject. But he mastered 12 subjects which are there in CA and he's ready to deliver any subject. He has a mastery over that subject. He started exploring himself to such an extent that any subject he can deliver. Whatever the subjects are there, all the 12 subjects, he is a master in it. So he has taken the greatest versions from different people, worked so much on that particular arena, and he is in a position to deliver the content to such an extent wherein students can easily work it out. So he is able to produce nearly 80% result, and he confidently says that it is possible for me to make anyone to execute or complete CMA in a very short time. You need to understand that work must be a research, exploration, or in-depth analysis of what we are really trying to know. When we have that analysis, when we go in depth of anything, okay, then we are able to do something miraculous in life. Okay, I hope you understood, Pyari. And hard work is all about doing the same thing again and again to understand it more and more, to understand it more and more, to analyze it more and more. That's it. So probably a scientist will work on a particular thing. You know that Thomas Alva Edison has worked on a filament for 10,000 times, okay, in order to realize tungsten, which is the right filament for the bulb. So why he had to go for 10,000 times is doing the same work again and again. He executes it to the greatest extent. That's all. Yeah, thank you so much, Priyari, for that question. I hope I could give some clarity on that. Yeah, Shankar, good evening, man. Thank you so much for your question. How to control our emotions? You cannot control your emotions, okay? But what causes your emotions? First, you try to understand this. What is the root cause of this? See, pollution cannot be controlled. If at all, if you have to control pollution, you have to cut down the source of that pollution. So let's take, okay, air pollution. So what is the source of that air pollution? The smoke that is emitted from the factories. If that smoke is reduced, automatically, okay, the rate of pollution reduces. See, initially we used to see vehicles when they were moving on road, okay, a lot of smoke used to come out of that, a black smoke. But now we don't see that because we have developed a technology wherein there will be a purification of that, and the amount of carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, and all will be reduced to the greatest extent, and only a little bit of smoke will be released. And vehicles, when they are used for longer years, over 15 years, that will produce more smoke. That is the reason why we are not giving permission. The government is not giving permission for most of the vehicles to run for a pretty long time. So we cannot stop air pollution, but we have to go on the source, okay, which is creating it. I hope you understand this. See, in any arena, it is the same. So emotions cannot be controlled. In order to execute an emotion out, our mind may take even a nanosecond to execute it. So in that nanosecond, I don't think that, okay, with a thought-oriented mind, thought-and memory, we can control that emotion. It's not possible. But we can be conscious and realize that it's a negative emotion. We can change the thought and divert it. That's fine, okay. I think intellectual people can reduce that emotional state to a very short level. I think within seconds, okay, they realize that they're in a negative state and they drop it out. So first you need to understand, okay, why you are getting that emotion, how you are getting that emotion. Emotion is the resultant of the thought that is running in the mind. So our mind will be thinking about everything. So it consistently thinks. If you can observe that thinking, okay, how my mind is thinking. Let's say you have a negative opinion about someone. You don't like a lot of things what the other person is doing. You have taken a lot of negative content about that particular person. So now your mind consistently thinks negatively about that particular thing. When your mind consistently thinks negative about that particular thing, okay, automatically you execute negative emotions. On the contrary, or the other side, okay. So there is something what you have, a positive expression about a particular person. When you have a positive expression about a particular person, then automatically your mind starts thinking in a positive manner and you start exhibiting happy emotion. So simply to make you understand, okay, when you are with your enemy, you are with a negative emotion. When you are with your friend, okay, you are with a positive emotion. So why okay, you're with a negative emotion with an enemy means you started looking into the negative content about that fellow. So in the process of taking negative content about that fellow, so having hatred. So once you have got that negative content in your mind, what you have is hatred. So it's not what I can say, love towards that particular person because negative thoughts will develop hatred with you. So once you have hatred, you emote negatively. Okay? But you need to understand one thing. Someone is an enemy for you, but that fellow is the best friend of someone else. So when that fellow could become the best friend for someone, why did he become your enemy? So a person becoming an enemy or a friend depends on the way you think about that particular person. The way you look at the perspective with which you look at that particular person. That's all. See, a person, let me take a small illustration and tell you, okay. Mahesh Babu is a smart one, okay. He dances nicely, acts nicely, performs greatly, okay. So we can compare with his father, Krishna's dance, okay. I think Mahesh Babu's dance will be thousands of times much better. So he's a smart one with every quality, but we cannot say that everyone likes Mahesh Babu. There may be people, okay, who do not like Mahesh Babu. So though every film star is a fantastic one. Recently I've gone through a book, okay, The Real Yogi. It was written by a fan of Pawan Kalyan. I went through it, okay. He started writing in such a manner that in every generation God appears on this earth, Krishna appeared, Rama appeared, just like that Pawan Kalyan appeared. And he's really doing the job of Krishna. He's more like Kalki. So he's the God, okay, existing in this particular generation. So if you go through that book, okay, you will feel that that fellow feels Pawan Kalyan as Krishna, Rama, an avatar of God. And he represented it. How could he execute that greatness? Probably there were some logical points what he said. See, there were an ad of Pepsi or Coca-Cola, okay, which was given for Pawan Kalyan, which could drive crores of rupees for him, okay. But he was not interested in acting it because when people consume that Coke or Pepsi, I don't know exactly what drink it is, that is going to harm their health. As it is going to harm the health of the public, okay, Pawan Kalyan did not act in that ad. Because when he says that, okay, I drink Pepsi, probably many fans may drink Pepsi and that may damage their health. Certain points like this, really positive, okay, to represent it. So his perspective is in such a manner that Pawan Kalyan even appeared like God for him because he started thinking about Pawan Kalyan in such a manner. He started looking into the positive qualities of Pawan Kalyan. You need to understand this. Probably let us say that there is a fan of Prabhas or Chiranjeevi or some other one. Let's take Allu Arjun or Junior NTR, who does not like Pawan Kalyan. Probably he looks into the negative aspects of Pawan Kalyan. Pawan Kalyan married 3 people, that fellow is very emotional. He just speaks like this, that and all. He looks into the all negative content of Pawan Kalyan and puts that negative content. As he has put the negative content, okay, the resultant outcome is negative emotion. So, just understand a very simple concept, I can tell you. Your mind is like a house. Okay. Now, you cannot allow everything into your house, right? When you arrest a mosquito entering into your house, you design a net for it, okay? You do not want that mosquito to enter into it. You don't want a rat to enter into your house. You don't want pigs or dogs to enter into your house. So you don't want snakes to enter into your house. You don't want insects to enter into your house. You have a perfect plan where you don't want to give an opportunity for any organism to enter into that house. You have a restricted entry for that. You take care of that in such a manner that only the feasible things must enter into that house. But do you take the same care of your mind? Your mind is like a house. Are you allowing only good things into your mind? Are you thinking only positive things? Are you listening to only positive content? Are you seeing only positive content? No, right? So when positive content, positive information, positive ideas are not driven into the mind, so you allow a lot of negative things to enter into your house. Probably a lot of mosquitoes entered into your house. So they don't have a way out, okay? Then a lot of rats entered into your house. Okay. A few snakes entered into your house. There are a few pigs, okay, and the kids of pigs also. Then just imagine how awkward it will be. So, the similar manner, when you start taking the negative content into your mind and make your mind to think about it, then negative emotions come. Definitely, when you said how to control your emotions, and I'm sure you're not talking about positive emotions. You want happiness, you want peace, you want joy, you want bliss, okay, you want ecstasy, you want all the positive content, okay, in emotional things to increase. But what you want to stop is not the positive emotional content, but the negative emotional content. So, negative emotional content is the outcome of negative content that you have put in your mind. Probably to make you understand in a different manner, mind is like a soil. When you put some negative seeds into that, negative plants grow. When you put positive seeds into it, positive plants grow. So you have to stop negative information into your mind. You should not allow your mind to think about negative things. When you make your mind to think about negative things, okay, automatically what happens? Your mind cultivates that and drives it into negative emotion. Emotion is a resultant extent. See, God has planned in such a manner that first, when you think negatively, the feel within you changes. You have to realize at that level. So it will be uneasy for you. You're not comfortable, okay? At that stage, you have to realize and change the thoughts. So you did not realize, okay? That feel will convert that feel into a stronger emotion, and you get disturbance, irritation, anger, frustration, disappointment. All these negative emotions come out. At least then you have to realize that your mind is thinking something negative. And why your mind is thinking something negative? Because you have a negative content in your mind. So when you change the negative thoughts in your mind, okay, then your feel changes, then your emotions changes. Without changing the feel and emotions in your mind, okay, I don't think that you can ever handle emotions. So first check, okay, that is what, simply to put in a concise statement, I can say that the statement of Gandhi, don't see bad, don't listen to bad, don't watch bad. Chedu chudaddu, chedu vinaddu, okay, chedu maatladadu, don't speak bad. Because once you look into the negative content, okay, listen, speak, that becomes a negative seed within you. And once you start looking into the negative content, automatically your mind starts thinking negatively. In negative thinking, okay, only negative emotions will come. You cannot experience positive emotions. So change that. Change the source, then everything is going to be great. Thank you so much, Shankar, for your question, and good evening, Uma. Thanks a lot for your participation in this. I think this is your first question, okay, that you have asked in this question answer session. Appreciate your work on that. What is the major strength and weakness of our country? I think this you have to ask an economist or a historian or someone else, okay. From my perspective, okay, I can say that India has a good culture. India has clarity about most of the things. Okay, India has in-depth knowledge about everything. But the only problem with Indians is they're confused with westernization and the old traditions of India. See, you take the food setup, what our ancestors has given to us. We have different kind of content that is put into it. Okay, let me put in Telugu. Okay, we use jilakara, avalu, mentulu, miriyalu, lot of things. Okay, different kinds of spice and different kinds of millets and all will be added. Okay, in the diet in order. This is all like medicines. Okay, which will work and improve the digestion, handle everything in balance, and take the content to the best extent. So Indians the greatest thing of India is its rich heritage. The research what Indians have done. See, the whole world started knowing how to make money. Okay, but whatever the amount of money we make, okay, happiness is not the outcome of the external things, okay, but happiness is the outcome of conquering the mind. That internal wisdom is the real strength of India. All the rishis, all the yogis of India have started working on the internal wisdom of people. So they know exactly. I was talking about thoughts, okay, how emotions comes in. All this thing is a research what our Indians have done and delivered it to people from ages. I think before 4,000 to 5,000 years, okay, we started revealing to the world that spiritual knowledge. So why the world is following yoga today? Why the world is following the traditions what Indians carry is just because of this. So we used to have sacred bath, okay, taking bath in moving water. That's going to drive a lot of energy. Even see, almost most of the temples of Lord Shiva, or most of the temples which are very popular, are constructed on mountains, okay, hill or a mountain. When the people used to walk to that place and have a darshan of it, it's not that something good is going to happen by going to that temple. Probably if you take Ayyappa Swami temple, okay, so which is in Shabarimala, the travel to that temple, okay, will be through a deep forest for almost 5 to 6 hours, okay. Even if we get into Pamba and from there, if you have to walk, okay, we have to walk through a deep forest, okay, which is covered by a lot of medicinal trees. The intention of that, even the Pamba river has such a pure water wherein it removes all the skin diseases what a person has. So the nature has all the cure for people. But the challenge is people are not following the old traditions what our ancestors has given us. They have modernized things. They have looked into the Western world and they started inculcating all that into their real lives, okay, and that's really complicated. So I think the biggest strength of India is internal wisdom. So explore it so that you can start leading a happy and peaceful life in any kind of situation. Okay, first. And when it comes to weakness, like in a country with a lot of population with minimum area, there will be a struggle for everything. And because of that, okay, people keep fighting. See, accumulation of wealth, selfishness. There will be many things, okay, but all these things have come just because we are not surplus. We have a shortage of many things. When there is a surplus of everything, okay, nobody bothers. Let's take a simple content. Initially, there were a large number of women and a few male persons. The ratio of women to men were not balanced. It was not like 1:1. So the women were a lot and men were very less, and there was a huge demand for men. At that particular time, men started demanding dowry because getting a man was a toughest thing at that time. It's because of scarcity, right? Now the ratio changed, the number of men multiplied because we developed technology wherein we could identify that there is a girl child or a boy child, okay, in the womb of a mother, and people started going for abortion if it is a girl, and this started reducing the number of girls, okay, and increasing the number of boys. Now there are a lot of boys and there is a lesser number of women. So men are not really getting women right now. Scarcity has come up, okay. Now, almost all the men population, when they're going for marriage, they're saying that they don't want anything, okay. If, to make you understand, Amma iniste chalu, we don't need dowry, we don't need this, that, and all, okay. And I've seen most of the people going to very normal families, simple families, and getting married in that simple families. They have a lot of property, they're pretty rich, okay, they have a lot of things, but simple, they're getting married from a very normal family just because they're not getting girls. not one or two examples. You can watch many people. So they are just marrying from very humble families, okay, just because of the demand. So when there's a shortage, automatically people will have that fear within them, and because of that fear, okay, they behave in a nasty manner. So people suffered poverty in India to the greatest extent. As they suffered poverty to the greatest extent, okay, the scarcity conscious is more in India. As scarcity conscious is more, okay, they want to store a lot for themselves. So accumulation has become the biggest challenge. And because of that accumulation, okay, we are not able to distribute everything equally to everyone. That's the biggest challenge or weakness what we have as opposable. Okay. It's a great question. Thank you so much for your participation. I hope I gave you an answer which was to a satisfactory extent. Good evening, Nizam. Thanks for your question. You always write a lengthy question, and somehow, okay, that's wonderful. Thank you. People come to conclusion instantly. Maybe it's because of their mind's programming. Can we reprogramming everything that's in our mind and train our mind to see only what and how we want things to see, to be seen? See, people come to conclusions because it's not like what I can say because of the minds. It's not the programming of the mind. Okay, people did not develop an ability to go in depth and understand every single thing. See, as exactly to tell you, we go with analysis. When I tell you about analysis, I just say only one thing. Okay, that is, people will put a question, mind starts thinking and gives a conclusion. They stop with that conclusion. Okay, and they'll react to that. Mind starts, when they react, okay, they have a bad feel. Once they have a bad feel, mind starts thinking the negative content, they'll be in that state, that's it. But if they can put another question on that and go in depth of it, okay, then they understand the reality of it, the truth behind it. Once they understand the truth behind it, okay, then they'll never suffer for anything. See, ultimately, I'll tell you, all the suffering what the people are experiencing on this earth is just because of the thinking what is getting in their mind. That's all. So this simple point, if they have to understand, they have to analyze, okay, go into in-depth of everything, okay. See, I asked my wife once, okay, why you are suffering? I proved to her that every suffering that she is experiencing is an outcome of the mind. And she thinks that whatever the mind is thinking is real. And that emotion has to be undergone. Is it real? It's not real. See, someone can shout at you. That's a reality. But what you think about it gives you an emotional experience, right? And what you think about is not real. Because it depends on the memory that you have taken. So if that memory content is good and if your pattern of thinking, that attitude is different, then the situation can be driven into a better extent. If that is not there, then situation is going to be on the other track. I hope you're understanding. So people drive instant conclusions because they think that whatever the mind is thinking, that's true. And they have to suffer in that particular situation. They're not conscious. They're sleeping. If they are conscious, they start realizing that, okay, it's just an outcome of the mind. Mind is thinking in this manner, so I'm emoting in this manner. So why can't I make my mind to think in a different manner so that my emotion can change? If this much common sense a person has, okay, it's wonderful. So mind programming completely depends or can get executed from one particular step. That is, first, we need to observe how our mind thinks, okay, in particular situation. See, what the other person says may be good, or let me say, some prophet or someone from your Muslim community started narrating to a few people that Hindus are our enemies. So we should not love Hindus. We should oppose Hindus. So because this, he gives some explanation in such a manner that that will be acceptable for our mind. A person takes it. Once a person takes it, he goes to an extent wherein he is ready to kill the other person, okay, because of the thought that he has taken in his mind. If the input was not given in that manner, if someone started communicating with him, saying that we all come from the same source, we're all one. So we are just following different religions, okay, because you're born into that particular families, that's all. So everyone is equal. If this content is driven into the mind, okay, that's fantastic. See, I suppose, okay, at one stage I heard some content from one of the masters saying this. భాష ముందు కొట్టిందా మనుషులు ముందు కొట్టారా? So the language was born first or human beings. So everyone knows that man was born first and then the languages come. So there were plenty of languages. Okay. In a similar manner, man was born first and he wanted to have a religion based on the different situations where they were. Okay, they created the religion. So probably Islam was born in an area where there were mostly deserts, okay, dates and all different kinds of statistics. And from there the culture of Islam has come in. So most of the culture that Islam follows, okay, will be from that traditions. It has spread to the different corners of the world, but still that continues, right? I hope you are understanding. So first man was born and based on his requirements he created a religion, okay, in order to lead a humble life. So there is no great religion, all religions are equal. If this understanding is there, then automatically the fellow will never hate any religion and he will love everyone equally and he will consider everyone to be brothers, okay, all Indians are my brothers and sisters, he'll take it like that. But if the feed or the input is in a negative manner, memory, thinking will be negative, emotions will be negative, and he doesn't understand that it is because of the input that was put in his mind, okay, his mind is thinking negatively, and as his mind is thinking negatively, he is emoting. This much understanding will not be there. See, it's like, let's take, there is a robot. If we put a chip in that robot in order to execute a function, and robot does that. Let's take, we created a robot for doing a surgery. Now we change the chip and put a new chip into it, and we want the robot to serve food. And it serves food. We change the chip and put a chip, okay, wherein we want the robot to deliver some content, okay, it delivers content. The same thing is with your mind, right? What you put into your mind, okay, that makes your mind to think. And that thinking, okay, drives an emotion. A feel, next emotion. That's all. If this pattern is understood, okay, anyone can change their thought process. But the only challenge what people encounter is this. In the past, they will have taken a lot of negative content and that will be executed now. Probably some information what you have taken in your 6 years or 7 years of age will have its influence even now. At this stage also it reflects. But we don't know, right, that we have taken that content at that particular stage and we started thinking in a negative manner and that became a habit for us. So once it is a habit, okay, subconscious has taken the control of it and it goes on like that. So what we have to do, we have to change every particular thought and we have to, okay, make our mind to think in a different manner and we have to change the experience. Very simple, okay. See, someone has kept an ice cube in one hand, on the other hand, okay, he has kept a burning charcoal, okay, with fire. Automatically you know that the ice cube will make you feel chilled, okay, and the other one will burn your hand. You drop it and probably you may hold this ice cube for a short time because your experience makes you realize clearly that this is not going to harm you, but this is going to harm you. And this much if a person understands that my mind is thinking in this particular manner, that is the reason why I'm emoting like this. Emoting is a result of it, right? Our body has a system wherein emotions will make you understand what your mind has. your mind has negative information and negative thinking pattern, negative emotions comes in. But if your mind has a positive information and a positive thinking pattern, positive emotions comes in. A very simple clarity. But content, pattern of thinking, emotion. So what is the content? What is the pattern of thinking? What is the emotion you are expressing? Over. If people understand this, then everything is going to be great. But why people are not understanding this is, today, there are plenty of communicators. And training or communication has come to such a stage that people learn something and whatever the minimum they understood, okay, they are delivering it to people. They are not going to the core of it, getting complete clarity on it, and then delivering the content. Just to get some content into their mind and they are executing it. And people are listening to this kind of information. That is the reason why that memory is lodged in their mind and they are thinking in that particular manner and they are emoting themselves in this particular thing. So we have to take some standard source of information. Probably it can be Quran or it can be Ramayana or Mahabharata. If you can go through this content, okay, the values, ground realities, okay, that are driven in that particular thing will be perfect. So the other things are all delivered. See, even today world shows Mahatma Gandhi as a negative person, Mother Teresa as a negative person. Even they say that this is a defective mentality and that's not the right thing. And people are accepting it. Even I was discussing with a very good person recently, who is a popular one, but still he was saying that Gandhi is a negative personality. I didn't understand exactly, okay, how that person could really express the statement that Gandhi is a negative personality. Okay, so I hope you got it. People are jumping into conclusions because they don't have thinking. So they're not thinking that mind has a memory and that memory is making them think, and that thinking pattern has become a habit, and because of that thinking, okay, they're emoting. That's it. If they understand this three things clearly, memory, thinking pattern, emotions, feeling will be there in the middle, emotions. So change your memory, change your thinking pattern, emotions change. Okay, so this reprogramming can definitely be done, okay? But you have to follow this 3 steps and get it executed. That's it. Thank you, Nizam, for your question. Raidu, good evening. Thanks for your question, man. Okay. Happiness and peace both are same, not. No, happiness is a feeling, okay. It's an emotion. Peace is a state wherein I can't say that these two are same, okay, or these two are different, but they are interrelated. See, one thing, when your mind has nothing to think, your mind has nothing to emote, then you are in balance. That's peace. When your mind has nothing to think in a negative manner, then there is no negative emotion. So your mind has something to think in a positive manner, so you have a positive emotion. Happiness is an outcome of the way your mind thinks, but real happiness is a state wherein you have nothing to think. See, I'm trying to tell you this, okay, I'll put it in Telugu, you may understand it clearly. నిజమైన సంతోషం మనసు ఏది ఆలోచించకుండా కామ్గా ఉన్నప్పుడు మనం ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ అయ్యేది పీస్. నిజమైన సంతోషం ఎక్కడి నుంచి వస్తుంది అంటే మనమల్ని మనం తెలుసుకొని మనమల్ని మనం కరెక్ట్ డైరెక్షన్లో తీసుకెళ్తూ, అంటే జీవితాన్ని కరెక్ట్గా తీసుకెళ్తూ, మనం చేయాలనుకునేది సాధించుకుంటూ వెళ్ళినప్పుడు, అచీవ్ చేసుకుంటూ వెళ్ళినప్పుడు, ఆ అచీవ్మెంట్ మనకి ఇచ్చే ఆనందాన్ని సంతోషం అంటాం. సో హ్యాపీనెస్ ఇస్ జస్ట్ అన్ అవుట్కమ్ ఆఫ్ అచీవ్మెంట్. అచీవ్మెంట్ లేని వాళ్ళకి హ్యాపీనెస్ ఉండదు. హ్యాపీనెస్ ఎవరికైతే ఉంటుందో వాళ్ళు ఎంటర్టైన్మెంట్ సోర్సెస్ని తీసుకుంటారు. They bring entertainment into picture. See, 99%, 99.9% of the world is after mobile today because they want entertainment, because that happiness is not there within them. Because happiness has to come from achievement. See, if I did not understand all this content, I can definitely not answer the questions what people have asked. So, in that particular case, how do you expect me to be happy? Think once. So, I'm able to be happy just because I'm able to give answers for the questions what you people are asking. That is an achievement what I've done. So, in everything, the same thing works. So if you have achieved, see probably when I brush my teeth, I feel happy because I've achieved it. So how did I achieve it? I learned how to brush my teeth. Most of the people did not learn how to brush their teeth even. Okay, so once you learn, once you achieve something, then happiness comes in. On the other side, peace is a state wherein you realize that your mind thinks, and because of thinking, okay, you emote. That's all. So your mind has a negative thinking pattern, then you are emoting negatively. Your mind has a positive thinking pattern, then you are emoting positively. That's all. So peace is a state wherein, let us assume, okay, there is no thought in the mind. So when there is no thought, okay, so there is no positive emotion, there is no negative emotion. In that state, you are peaceful. So when you understand that it is your mind which is thinking negatively or positively and creating all this havoc, then all your attention will be on only one thing, okay? Making the mind to shut up, not allowing it to think. Why your mind is thinking unnecessarily? Because you are not working on achieving something. So you have to engage yourself in achieving something, use your mind for a particular thing, okay? So that you are occupied into particular thing totally. In that case, okay, your mind is not free, so it will not think unnecessary things. So right now, I'm engaged in delivering this question answer session for 1.5 hours. Completely, my mind is working on answering the questions to you. So in this case, I'm not giving my mind to give an opportunity to think about something else. But let us say this 1.5 hours, I'm free. I don't have any work. I'm not working on achieving anything. So in this time, my mind will not keep calm, it will start thinking. How does your mind think? If you have negative content in your mind, it thinks negatively. If you have negative, positive content, it thinks positively. Probably from childhood, the memory that we have taken, the incidents that have happened in our life, the circumstances, all these things create a negative memory. And that creates a negative thinking. And that negative thinking will become a pattern. Okay, a repeated negative thinking. It became a habit controlled by subconscious mind and negative emotions. So this destroys the peace of us. So what has happened in the past was to make you understand that this is not the fact. Okay, you need to change it. Problems came to make you think and understand what is the truth. But that is not what people realize problems for. So they take that problems as what I can say, durudustam, okay, unluckiness or misfortune, something like that. And they put it with a negative memory, and that negative memory thinks negatively and destroys the peace of the person. If it is to be represented on the other side, there is a thin, narrow gap between working and working with a desire to do something in life. Okay, that desire can also take out your peace. Because when you create a desire in your mind, you run after that desire, okay. That makes you to feel bad about it, and in the process we disturb our peace. So you are in a peaceful state when your mind is not thinking about anything. So you cannot be in that state, as you need to make some money, lead your life. So you have to use your mind for a particular cause. When you engage your mind consistently into a particular cause, okay, then you're not giving your mind a scope to think about something else, okay, which is irrelevant. All the problems what people face are because of their thinking. And that thinking is negative or positive. It's just because they are free. A person who's not free, occupied into some work, okay, working on achieving something, developing himself in that particular arena, he's totally occupying his mind. See, oka polanni manam cultivate cheyadaniki use chesinappudu, there is no negative seed that grows in it. But if the field is left empty, then dirty seeds grow into it and create a lot of problem for us. The same thing is with people, okay? They don't have particular work, they are not occupied into it totally. If they occupy themselves into a work, okay, which they love so much, then automatically they keep working on that, they keep growing on that. When they keep working and growing on that, probably see, I may be in a function, I may be in a platform, I may be with a book, or I may be with a friend, whatever it is, okay. In all the cases, my focus will be on empowering how my thought works, what content I'm putting in my mind, how my mind is going to think. I'll be conscious about all this. So how it is going to have a reflection in my future. See, I've been working in schools for the past 1.5 months. I don't have any work to do. But still I'm trying to do plenty of things. I'm engaging myself into different things, okay. I'm reading the autobiography of Mahatma Gandhi. I'm going through different stories, trying to work out different things. But I'm not keeping calm. Because if I keep calm, okay, my mind thinks negatively. And I need to be conscious, observe, and just shift it into something else. Okay, so engage yourself in some dedicated work so that things will change wonderfully. Okay, so happiness is an outcome of the achievement what we get. When we did not achieve anything, we focus on entertainment. We want some source wherein we will be getting that happiness. But entertainment can be there only till we are engaged in it. It's like watching a comedy scene. You will get that happy feeling only till that time, okay, that comedy scene is done. Afterwards, it's not there. Okay, but happiness is a state that we get when we achieve something, when we achieve our goals, when we achieve our destinations. We will feel proud of ourselves, okay. Our mind starts thinking greatly. And in that process, okay, everything looks great for us. So when we beautify a house, okay, everything is wonderful in that. When the house is not beautified, okay, how does it look great? The same thing is with it. When you beautify a thing, how does beautification come from achievement? So let us say beautification of mind comes from courage, confidence, positive thinking, okay, greater feeling, compassion, love. All these qualities will come only when we achieve something. Without achieving, you will never get it. See, is there any greater person on this earth, okay, who had all great qualities, okay, but he is nothing? You take Ashoka, you take Gautama, you take any great person, okay, whoever it is. He is a blend of all great qualities. So how did he get all that great qualities? Achievement. How did he get that achievement? He dedicated his life that particular cause. I keep on telling, right? ఖాళీగా ఉన్నవాడు ఎవడో ఒకటి గురించి ఆలోచిస్తాడు, అనవసరమైన థింగ్స్ గురించి ఆలోచిస్తాడు. సో దాని నుంచి వచ్చే ఎమోషన్స్ లో సఫర్ అవుతూ ఉంటాడు. బట్ వై షుడ్ వి కీప్ అవర్ సెల్స్ ఎంప్టీ? We can work on enhancing something and achieving something, right? If we don't achieve, we can never build courage and confidence to take our life forward. We'll be in guilt. So guilt can never drive positive thoughts. So guilt can never create positive feelings. In that positive, negative feeling and negative thoughts, okay, we automatically get negative emotional state. So we have to work on achieving something big. So when we start achieving something big, everything is going to change. Okay. Thank you, Raidu, for your beautiful question. Thank you very much, everyone who was posed questions. If my answers has become useful for you, please use it. Change your life patterns and lead a happy life. Make this world a beautiful place to live. If not, add more questions and gain more clarity into it. Thank you, folks. Thanks a lot.